In Lesson 9.2, we're going to take a look at number sequences. So let's talk about some vocabulary words here. A sequence is just a pattern of numbers. Okay, and an arithmetic sequence is a pattern created by adding or subtracting. Created by adding or subtracting the same number. And that same number is called the common difference. I know difference means to subtract, but the number that you're adding or subtracting each time is just called the common difference. And you'll see that in the first example. A geometric sequence is a pattern created by multiplying or dividing. The same number. And this time, that same number is called a common ratio. Because remember, ratio is fancy for fractions, and fractions mean to divide. And lastly, a conjecture is a rule for the pattern. Okay, and what that means is it's just the math that is being done. Each time. Okay, so pause the video if you need to fill those in, and then we'll take a look at some examples. So we're going to take a look at two examples here. We're going to do an arithmetic sequence. Okay, I'm going to have to scroll for that one. And we're going to do a geometric sequence. So the arithmetic sequence, first they want us to describe the pattern. Well, that's the conjecture. Then find the next three terms. Okay, so there's two parts of this problem. First, I need to figure out what they're doing each time. So I look at my numbers. From 100 to 93, it looks like I subtracted 7. From 93 to 86, oh good, I subtracted 7 again. And from 86 to 79, I subtracted again. So -7 is the common difference, because that's what we did each time. So the conjecture, you have to say what number you start with. Okay, so start with 100, because I could start with any number, and add -7 repeatedly. So I was at 79, so 79 minus 7 is 68. Now I have to do 68 minus 7, which is 61, and then 61 minus 7, which is 54. Okay, so I'm just going to keep subtracting 7 each time. So that's an arithmetic sequence. So pause the video and fill that in before moving on to geometric. Now a geometric sequence, this time we're going to do multiplying or dividing. So take a look here, from 2 to 6, it looks like we multiplied by 3. 6 to 18 is also multiplied by 3, and 18 to 54 is also multiplied by 3. So that's your common ratio. So the conjecture is that you're going to start with the number 2 and multiply by 3 repeatedly. So I was already at 54, so the next one would be 54 times 3, which is 162. Now I have to do 162 times 3, 18, which is 486. Then I have to do 486 times 3. 18, 25, 14, which is 1458. So the next three terms are 162, 486, and 1458. Okay. Now let's move on to the last part here. What happens if we have patterns using shapes? So describe the pattern to find the number of squares in each figure. Is the resulting sequence arithmetic, geometric, or neither? It could just be a sequence or a pattern. It doesn't have to be arithmetic, or arithmetic is the fancy way to say it, or geometric. So let's take a look. The first square had 1 square in it. The second one had 4 squares in it. The third square has 9 in it, and the fourth one has 16 in it. So let's take a look. Let's see if we have a common difference or a common ratio. Well, from 1 to 4, I added 3. From 4 to 9, I added 5. From 9 to 16, I added 7. So I started with 1, and I added consecutive. What types of integers are 3, 5, and 7? They are odd numbers. So you added consecutive odd numbers, but because I didn't add the same odd number each time, the sequence is neither arithmetic or geometric. It's just a pattern. It's a pattern that we can figure out, but because it's not the same number being added each time, it's just a pattern. Okay, so now you're going to try these quick checks. First, you describe the pattern, so give a rule or a conjecture. Make sure you say what number you have to start with. And then you have to find the next 3 terms. Okay, and in quick check 3, you're just going to say if it's arithmetic, geometric, both, or neither. And that's it. Don't find any other terms, just name the type of pattern.